All right, y'all. So I just got off the phone. Not just got off the phone, but I was talking to a buddy of mine. Going through some stuff. Going through some stuff. Ain't gonna put all the business out there, but going through some grown folk stuff. And I just want to say this, right? To anybody out there under the sound of my voice, if you lost your wallet, right? If you lost your car keys, the word I just want to focus on the word loss for a second here, and loser. If I lost my money, right? I'm outside and I lost my money. At that moment, I just lost something. The word loser is just a person who lost something. So that's all that means. The word loser, people are afraid of this word loser. Like if I lost my wallet in that moment, I could be considered a loser. Well, why? Because I just lost something. I lost my wallet. Uh, if I lost my job at that moment, I could be considered a loser. Because the word loser, in a strict definition, it just means to lose something. If I lost my car keys, you know what I'm saying? If I went somewhere, the other day I went somewhere and I put my glasses down. I came back, I couldn't find them, right? So I had to buy a new pair. In that instance, I was a loser of my glasses. I lost my glasses. The word loser just means to lose something. So that's one. So if you lost your wife, if you're going through a divorce, you lost your house, and you lost your finance, because that stuff trickles into your finances, whatever. Like the first thing I want to just say, like to get through stuff without like that, being degenerate, going into degenerate habits, how to get through these things is to accept that you're a loser. Like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay. No one like that word is like just me even saying it sounds. I can feel the awkwardness, right? To be called a loser. Society teaches you to be a winner, right? From you are a child, you're taught to be a winner, even on a subliminal level, right? Everybody wants to be a winner. Let's just establish that fundamental truth. Everyone wants to be a winner, and everyone wants to be associated with the winner. Like think about it. Like when a basketball team loses, there's no one cheering for that losing team. You know what I'm saying? Football team loses, no one is cheering for the loser. The fans are depressed. The team's depressed. They're going back in the locker room. They're flipping over the water coolers. They're breaking. It's no one wants to be associated with the loser. Everybody wants to be associated with a winner, and therefore the word we now that's on a collective, but individually now we're afraid to just accept losses. Like we are terrified of being called a loser. Well, like I said, I just spoke to somebody and they're going through some stuff, and that's a term he was like felt like a loser, felt like a loser. And here's my suggestion. Here's what I said. Like, there's nothing wrong with being considered a loser. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, if I lost my wallet at that moment, I'm a loser of my wallet. A loser uh, would be an adjective, right? Because it's describing my state. I lost my wallet. In this context, I'm a loser. What did you lose? Your wallet, right? But again, the term loser is so tabooed, and we've been programmed to just, you know what I mean? So if you, and what that does now is when the energy of losing, the feelings of being a loser, of it destroys you because you don't know how to cope with it. You have no coping mechanism because you're programmed to be a winner, associated with the winner. And we hate the word loser. No one wants to be a loser. No one wants to be a loser. Everybody wants to be a winner. So when you are attacked or you find yourself in a situation of loss, whether it's a family, a job, the entities of energy that's embedded, because every word has an energetic signature associated to it. So the energy that is embedded within the word loser, it eats you up, tears you up. You start drinking and you become a bigger loser. Now you're really a loser, right? Now you're really losing, because now you're losing it. You lost something, but now you're losing it, which is yourself. And I have to tell a person, I says, listen, no matter what you lose, just don't lose your mind. And that's why that's kind of advice I gave the person. I said, listen, whatever you lost, just don't lose you. Lose everything else. I'd rather lose everybody and everything and keep me. That's the only thing. As long as I don't lose me, I'm okay. So here's the thing. All right, so here's the it's only 5 minutes. I don't want to make this too long, but here's the point I really want to make, right? Is that the way I found, because I mean, I could sit here all day and tell you, we all, you know, I'm be 45 in what, 2 weeks, September 22nd. It's about 2 weeks from now, whatever. Like, trust me, I've lost a ton of times and whatever. And what I've learned and how to deal with loss and getting through loss. This is a little secret, something that I've learned, and how to deal with it. If you were to get in your car and go to the South Pole, you go to the uttermost parts of the South Pole. Once you reach the South Pole, right? Any direction, anywhere you go from the South Pole is north. Research that, Google that, whatever. Once you hit the South Pole, the absolute South Pole, the very end, anywhere you go from there is north. And the same is true with the North Pole. Once you hit the North Pole, anywhere you go in any direction you go from the North Pole is going to be south. Why did I bring that up? Is this to teach about the law of not only polarity, but also the law of rhythm. The law of polarity is north and south, right? Two poles that are opposite. But once you hit the rock bottom of the south, anywhere from there is north. And once you hit, we'll use the language rock bottom of the north, even though we know the north is up. But once you hit the bottom of the North Pole, once you hit the rock bottom, because we're talking about getting hit in life and you're down and you lost stuff or whatever. Once you hit the rock bottom of the North Pole, anywhere from there is south, which is the opposite. And once you hit the bottom of the south, anywhere from there is north. And the moral of that, the lesson in that is that this is a scientific lesson. This is physics. This is science. The moral of it is that the way how the universe, the cosmos, how the universal laws work, the pendulum. Once the pendulum swings to the North Pole, anywhere from there, it has to go in the opposite direction. And once it swings to the South Pole, anywhere from there, it has to go in the opposite direction. So if your life has hit rock bottom, if you've lost everything, I mean everything, and you're totally at rock bottom, the cliche is, you know, we've heard the adage, the saying, the axiomatic saying, you know, once you hit rock bottom, anywhere from here is up, right? That's a true statement. But I want to corroborate that cliche or that aphorism. I want to corroborate that with scientific support. So there's scientific evidence that proves scientifically that once you hit the North Pole, if you're driving and you hit the North Pole, anywhere from there has to go south. And the same holds for the South Pole. Anywhere from there has to go back to the north. So once your life has hit a certain, you know, rock bottom, a position of absolute negative, the law of rhythm. This is a cosmos. This is called cosmos law. Cosmos is universal, right? So this is a universal law. The law says that the tide must turn in your favor. It has to. It absolutely has to. But you have to stay in agreement and in agreement with the law. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be aware of the law, right? And then you have to be poised with the law, balanced with the law, meaning you don't lose your ish. That's the point I'm trying to make. The reason why a lot of people hit rock bottom, and then you might say, well, why the law never turn? The law, first of all, the law is an irrespective of persons, and the law is invariable, meaning it doesn't change. It's immutable. It's unchangeable. The law is absolute, and it's exact. So people will say, well, why there's homeless people? How come they didn't? Their tides didn't turn? That's not it. The law works according to the law works according to your agreement with the law. In other words, you have to be in agreement with the law for the law to work, right? So you have to be aware of these laws, and then you have to be in agreement, in tune with these laws. You have to be consistent with these laws. Now, what I mean by that is, if I hit rock bottom, my life hits rock bottom, And I'm aware of these laws. I'm conscious of these laws, right? But yet, because I'm feeling so down and dejected and despondent, I go start throwing them back. I'm throwing back bottles after bottles, bottles after bottles. I start engaging in promiscuity. I'm start, just sleeping around wherever I can, laying my hat wherever I can. So now what I'm doing is actually, I'm actually using the law, but I'm using the law against me. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm actually compounding the law and I'm reinforcing the law. Because remember, the law swings in either direction. So if it swings in a negative and I go with it, then I'm working with the law. Because the law hit rock, I hit rock bottom. Okay, the law says whatever it has to turn around. But rather than turning around, what I did was I reinforced it. You know what I'm saying? I said, okay, I see the law going in that direction. I'm going to go with that law. I'm going to go in the negative. I'm going to keep going, digging myself deeper and deeper and deeper. So a lot of times it's us not staying pat. That's why there's a Bible verse that says, be still and see God work. Be still and see the salvation of God. Be still and know that I'm God. So a lot of times we're not still. Because being still means to be poised, to be balanced, to stay, to when there's chaos and when there's storm, you're at peace. You remain at peace. Why? Because you raise your vibration above the storm and the storm passes under you. And once the storm passes under you, according to the law, it has to swing back in the opposite direction. That law is found in all of nature. You don't believe me? The ocean. Tides come in, tides go out. It's called ebbs and flow. That's the law right there, the law of rhythm. Another law of nature: night and day and night. As sure, that's the law at work. That's evidence that the law is unfailable. It's infallible. Excuse me. It's infallible because night follows day. As sure as I'm here talking to you right now, night follows day, and it's never late. Right? The sun is never late coming up. The moon is never late going down. I mean, there's a rhythm there. There's a consistent dance between the sun and the moon, where night follows day, day follows night. We see it also in the seasons, right? Right now, summer's over, and we're going into the fall. Fall follows summer, winter, spring, right? And all the seasons are always on time. There's a rhythm, the law of rhythm. So you have the law constantly showing itself to us in nature, right? But like I said, we are the operant power, meaning we are the mechanism, we are the tool, we have the power, but we don't utilize it. A lot of times, and I do sympathize because this stuff that I'm talking about is not common knowledge, and it's not just being shared. It's not like my parents never taught me this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people, parents never taught them this, and their parents never taught them this, and their parents never taught. So there's no one to really blame, so to speak, right? People could always blame, but there's really no one to blame. What I would say, if you blame other people, you're lost. If you blame yourself, you're halfway there. If you blame nobody, you're enlightened, because there's nobody to blame. I always hear people blame their parents. Like, I talk to people and they'll say, oh, my mom never did, my dad never did. I'm like, in my mind, when I hear that, I just be wanting to say, shut up. Like, man up. You know what I mean? Like, stop being... The reason why I'm not big on blaming parents is because I understand parents, they didn't know. First of all, your parents were around, if you're my age, your parents were, when they were our age, it was, 60s maybe, or 50s? You know what I'm saying? 60s, 50s, whatever, right? They were at a different generation, right? And what was the 50s and 60s like, right? And then you want to talk about, okay, well, your grandparents, well, what were... You know what I mean? Like, what were their, when they were young, what were their environments? And then their then now you're going back into slavery, and you're going back into all the Jim Crows. And so, I mean, it really, you can't blame anybody. Because this is how I look at it, right? I think it's Garnet Silk. Garnet Silk got a song that says, oh, mama, you can depend on me now, because I know you tried your best. Now, this is the part that I love. He said, now it's up to me to do the rest. Like, that to me right there, that's it right now. I can't sing, so I'm not here. Don't be bashing me for singing, because I'm not a singer. But that part right there, now it's up to me to do the rest. Garnet Silk. It's an old song. I love that song. I think it's Garnet Silk. I'm not for sure if that's him. I think it's him. But the point is, he says, now it's up to me to do the rest. He said, Mom, I know you tried your best. Now it's up to me to do the rest. So I be hearing people complain about their moms and their dad and dad, and I always think about in the back of my mind, I'm like, shut up. Like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, your parents did the best they can. It's your turn now. You know what I mean? Like, if you so disappointed in your parents and they didn't do the thing, then here's the thing. You do better. It's your turn. You know what I mean? I always chalk it up to like, whatever I didn't get growing up, it is what it is. I'm here now. This is my turn now. I'm a grown man. This is my opportunity. You know, my chance, my one shot. You know, you only get one chance to blow. I can't rap either. But y'all know what I'm saying, right? You only get one shot. This is my one shot. I'm not gonna, like, be married to the past of what I didn't get or what I didn't have. I'm not going to be tied to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to divorce my past. I'm cutting all cords. I don't care. I literally don't care about the past. Because first of all, scientifically, if you study science, metaphysically, not scientifically, but metaphysically, there is no past. But that's another conversation. You go into the metaphysics, there's no such thing as a past, and there's no such thing as a future. But that's another conversation. You know, I'm going to take y'all to the Twilight Zone. But I'm at 16 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up. All right, y'all. If you like it, y'all know to do, leave a comment. Peace.